Happy New Year, friends, family, and fans of this podcast, This Day in Weather History. I'm your host, Chris May. So yesterday, we dedicated the entire episode to international events from 2021. That was our International Year in Review. This is our Canadian Year in Review. We open on February 9th with a typical winter story, but this one was a bit different. It was a powerful winter storm that moved in, over, and then through Newfoundland after battering the Maritimes with gusty winds and over 40 centimeters of snow. On March 1st, it was Ontario's turn at the crosshairs of a nasty late-season snow attack. Powerful, strong, gusty northwesterly winds picked up the snow and blew it all over southwestern Ontario, dramatically reducing visibility. And it was on a Monday, creating outward havoc on Highway 400, multi-car pileup, and several sections of that very important artery closed as a result. The summer in Canada will be known for two things, really. Be known for Western Canada, heat and fires. And as we heard yesterday in the International Year in Review episode, it was relentlessly hot and dry, and it was expected to persist all summer long. Tragically, in BC, nearly 600 lives were claimed by BC's historic record-breaking heat wave. It was also a fire season. June through July, BC suffered through the worst fire season on record. Winds blew extreme heat through oppressively dry conditions and basically fanned the flames directly into Lytton, BC, like Paradise, California, from another podcast for an event that had happened only a few years prior. Lytton suffered massive damage and was all but gone from the map. While that's happening, over on the Atlantic side of the country, it had been unusually hot in the region. As a matter of fact, they had reached a daytime high of 27.5 degrees in Newfoundland on a Tuesday, but by the Thursday, they were centimeters under snow again. On July 18th, it was officially reported that indeed it was an EF2 tornado by Environment Canada that had driven through Barrie. It was deja vu all over again for those who lived through the epic events of 1985. This created a lot of damage, and it also resulted in several injuries. This monster of a tornado packed wind speeds of 210 kilometers per hour, traveled for 12 kilometers and was 600 meters wide. That's over half a kilometer wide. You remember back on November 30th, I told you that story from 1954, the Alabama woman that was hit with a meteorite that had flown through her house and hit her on the hip. That, to this point, was the only recorded history of that ever happening. Well, on October 12th, Ms. Ruth Hamilton was asleep for hours and then was jolted awake by the barking of her dog. She jumped out of bed, and moments later, the pillow she was lying on was hit with a meteorite that came crashing through the roof of her house into her bedroom. Wow. Unbelievable. Hey, remember this? It was back on Sunday, November 7th, when BC was back in the news for strange and unusual weather. It goes without saying that BC is not a hot spot for tornadoes at any time of the year. So for one to occur in the heart of the fall was unfathomable. And there was one that started off as a water spout and climbed up through the Strait of Georgia into Vancouver, doing some tree damage down at the University of British Columbia. A tornado in Vancouver. And still in BC, just 20 weeks after that horrific heat wave I told you about, we were talking about an atmospheric river of moisture. Hope normally sees 250 millimeters of rain each year. This one event dropped 300 millimeters of rain. My friends, tomorrow is the start of a brand new year. Brand new possibilities. I can't wait to see you back for another great calendar season of This Day in Weather History, the podcast.